Hello and welcome back to the Trainers of the World Tournament. I'm your host DeltaTDS, and for match number 117, we've got the Unova gym leader Burgh going up against the Kanto gym leader Misty. Burgh is currently rocking the 4-0 lead right now. One of the few trainers that does have that from round 1, as Misty has a 2-1 record where she beats Sophocles in a type disadvantage. Burgh's got the Mega Heracross, as Misty has the Mega Gyarados. And once these trainers are ready, we can begin game 1. Misty leading off with the Lapras, Burgh starting off with that Leavanny. I believe last round we saw Leavanny put in a lot of work for Burgh. Leaf Blade is going to be super effective, dealing 82%. Ice Beam nearly taking out the Leavanny and getting a freeze on it. Unfortunate start for Burgh here. I mean, both Pokemon are pretty low health. Ice Beam does finish off that Leavanny. And Lapras is sitting at just under a third of health. Burgh sitting out the Excelgor now. This is also a Pokemon we've seen a lot from. Giga Drain going to finish off that Lapras. Burgh's team put in a lot of work in last round, going up against Buck, who is a very defensive trainer. Misty sitting out that Dragonite. Very popular Pokemon for this tournament, especially with that multi-scale. Excelgor going for the guard split as Dragonite sets up the Dragon Dance. Guard split very useful for Excelgor, making it a little bit bulkier. Gonna switch out to the Escavalier as Dragonite sets up a second Dragon Dance. Fire Punch is going to take out that Escavalier through that Oak Berry. And Burgh sends out the Crustle. I believe we saw a Shell Smash on this Pokemon. Thunder Punch is going to do over half as Rock Slide does miss that Dragonite. Very unfortunate miss for Crustle. I believe like a 10% chance. Thunder Punch does finish off that Crustle. We're currently 8 turns in and Burgh is down half of his team. I mean, it is only game 1. You never know what could happen in game 2. Burgh sending out the Vespiquen. We've seen, not sure if this one, but have heal order and defend order. But doesn't matter, Thunder Punch takes it out too. Sending out the Heracross, Fire Punch takes out Heracross. Yeah. Excelgor is all that's left here. Fire Punch, yeah, that takes out Excelgor. And Misty, with 5 Pokemon remaining, takes game number 1. We really only saw stuff from Lapras and Dragonite. As for Burgh's team, we only saw stuff from the Crustle, Excelgor, and the Leavanny. Vespiquen, Escavalier, and Heracross didn't have any chance to do anything. But, I mean, like I said before, it's only game number 1. Things could easily turn around in game 2. After all, that 10% chance was a brutal miss for Crustle. But we are back on the field for game number 2. And we're going to see if Burgh can pull out a win for the Bug Bros. I mean, throughout this tournament, we've seen Bug-type trainers just cause mayhem. So hopefully at least one of them can make it to round 4. No bias, obviously, but it would be pretty funny. Misty leading off with the Gyarados as Excelgor is leading off for Burgh. Gyarados gonna intimidate that Excelgor. though it's not gonna do much to it. Excelgor going for that Giga Drain as Gyarados starts off with a Dragon Dance. Another Pokemon of Misty's with that move. As Burgh switches out to Leavanny, Gyarados setting up another Dragon Dance. Gyarados going for a Crunch, Leavanny going for a Leaf Blade, dealing over half to both Pokemon. Crunch does finish off that Leavanny. Burgh sending out the Escavalier now. We didn't see much from this thing as it got swept by a Fire Punch. Gyarados gonna Mega Evolve and go for Earthquake, bringing Escavalier down to 11% as Poison Jab does finish off that Gyarados. Misty losing her first Pokemon now as she sends out the Lantern. One of the many Pokemon we didn't see last game. Scald is going to take out that Escavalier. Sending out the Vespiquen. Thunderbolt's going to do just over a third to Vespiquen as it goes for a Toxic on that Lantern. And revealing that Vespiquen does have the leftovers. Lantern also has Toxic. Vespiquen going for Defend Order. Another Thunderbolt's going to take Vespiquen under half as Attack Order plus a Toxic takes Lantern under half as well. It's really just seeing who could take out who first. Oh, Vespiquen has a Roost. The Toxic damage slowly racking up here. Lantern will be taken out this turn by Toxic, if it can stay above 31%. Lantern does fall as Vespiquen is currently over half health right now. But next turn it will be taken 31% from that Toxic. Misty sending out that terrifying Dragonite now. Vespiquen gonna go for Toxic, putting that Dragonite on a timer. Dragonite setting up another Dragon Dance. Vespiquen is living on at 3% right now. Fire Punch does take out the Vespiquen. And Dragonite is now under half health. Fire Punch gonna do over half to Crustle. Rock Slide does take out the Dragonite. And it's now 3v3 right now. Misty sending out the Starmie. Once again, another Pokemon we didn't see. Surf does take out that Crustle. And Excelgor is sent out here. Going for a Bug Buzz. It does take out that Starmie. Just one clean hit. Misty sending out the Lapras here. Pokemon we saw only at the beginning of Game 1 with Ice Beam, I believe. Going for another Bug Buzz, doing just under a third to Lapras as it heals up thanks to its leftovers. Excelgor hurting itself in confusion. Sparkling Aria is gonna do 2/3 to Excelgor as it eats that Pitaya Berry. Giga Drain gonna do over half to Lapras. Sparkling Aria does take out the Excelgor. And it's all down to Heracross here. Gonna Mega Evolve. Bullet Seed does take out that Lapras. And it's all down to Slowbro for Misty. Pin Missile doing 20% each hit will take out that Slowbro. And on his last Pokemon, Burgh takes game number 2 with Heracross, which means we're going on to a game 3. We saw a lot more from Misty's team. We still didn't see anything from that Slowbro except for the Apricot Berry. And as for Burgh's team, we saw every move from that Vespiquen. And we saw more from that Heracross and that Escavalier. But we are back on the field for game number 3. And once these trainers are ready, we can see who will be moving on to round 4. Misty leading off with that Starmie as Burgh leads off with that Crustle. 2 leads we haven't seen yet. Surf gonna take Crustle down to Sturdy as it goes for that Shell Smash, fixing those stat drops with that White Herb. Crustle right now is very fast, very strong, and very terrifying. X-Scissor does take out that Starmie, and Misty's sending out that Dragonite now. Rock Slide through that multi-scale is going to do 81% as Fire Punch does finish off that Crustle, doing a lot of damage to Dragonite. Even halved thanks to multi-scale, which is insane. Burgh sending out the Leavanny here. X-Scissor does finish off that Dragonite. And Misty sends out that Gyarados, which does intimidate Leavanny. Gonna go for a Swords Dance as Gyarados goes for a Dragon Dance. Misty gonna have to watch out Mega Evolving, because if she does, that Gyarados will be taking super effective damage from that Leaf Blade. Well, I guess now with its low health, it's not gonna matter. Crunch takes Leavanny down to the Sash as Leaf Blade does finish off that Gyarados with a crit too. Misty sending out the Slowbro here. Very slow Pokemon. Taking 3/4 from that Leaf Blade as Scald does take out Leavanny. Burgh is down to 4 Pokemon. Misty has 3 Pokemon left. Burgh sending out the Vespiquen here. We've seen this thing have Toxic, Attack Order, Defend Order, and Boost. Misty sending out the Lapras after its Slowbro fainted. Ice Beam going to do just over half to Vespiquen as it gets that Toxic off on that Lapras. Vespiquen living on 1% as it goes for a Roost, healing it over half health. Ice Beam does take out the Vespiquen though. And Lapras is at 3/4 of health right now. Burgh sending out the Excelgor here. Going for that guard split. Sparkling Aria is going to do just over half to Excelgor, as Lapras was over half health. Sparkling Aria putting Excelgor in that Taya Berry range as Toxic finishes off that Lapras. And Lantern is Misty's last Pokemon here. Giga Drain doing 60% to Lantern, healing up 25% thanks to that Citrus Berry. Gonna Scald and get the burn on the Excelgor. Giga Drain taking Lantern down to 6%. Scald doing a third to Excelgor. Another Giga Drain does finish off Lantern. And Excelgor takes game number 3. Which means Burgh will be moving on to round 4. Where he'll be facing off against the winner of tomorrow's match, Drake or Thornton. Thank you so much for watching, and until then, take care.